Howdy, all, welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Alright, so I did a little enchanting. I used a couple of books out of my book collection, and I used an Unbreaking 3 book I had and a Fortune 1 book I had, and I got Efficiency 2 on just a straight up enchant with my 7 levels, or 10 levels I think I had. And then it cost me 3 each to add the books. And then I've gained some back from mining in here. Yep, was just watching the SpaceX a little bit here. Was hoping to see them disembark, but man, it's a long, slow process for sure. We watched the launch yesterday, which was pretty cool. And first manned commercial space flight. Ish. I say ish because I understand, like, private company, right? I mean, I think they're a public company, but non-governmental company. Let's put it that way. So this isn't the government didn't put this rocket together. The government didn't build the capsule. They didn't launch it. I mean, they worked with and allowed SpaceX to rent their launch pad. I think SpaceX has their own launch pads, so I don't know how necessary it was for them to rent a launch pad, but it was really weird to me because we were watching the launch yesterday, and they launched, and they got into space all right, and got the no issues really of any kind, and which is awesome because that stuff is like everything else, you know. And so there's chances for things to go wrong, and but nothing seemed to have gone wrong, and they're all the way and attached to the space station now. But it was really weird because after the launch was over, they basically had, while we were watching, 3 or 4 different press areas, right? And so there was not press areas, but like announcers, and so there was like one set of announcers was like NASA and SpaceX and an astronaut, and one area was just SpaceX personnel, and one area was just NASA personnel, and that's not weird to me that they had that. But what was weird was they also had like the room where like VIPs watched the launch, not outside on the deck where I guess they could have watched, but they had like a room where they were watching everything, and so they had switched to that after everything was over, and they had a guy there, and I didn't catch who he was. I thought they said he was from NASA. It was really bizarre to me that they finished, right, SpaceX finished launching people into space. Uh, and all he could go on about was how much the government was responsible for what happened. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This wasn't a NASA flight. This wasn't a government. I mean, technically, I guess if you want to say they paid for it by having a contract with SpaceX, and there's probably some subsidies that happened, but they were acting like the government was responsible for designing and building and launching and all of that, and you know, uh, and it's cool, that we're launching rockets with people from the United States again. But I hear a lot of that too. Oh man, when they're talking and they're like, once again, the United States is launching. I'm like, well, I mean, technically, SpaceX is launching. Uh, oh, and because in my opinion, right, this is how we're going to get into space. It could have been a government thing, but all the governments turned a blind eye to it. Not all of them, I guess, but uh, right. I mean, other countries are pushing that direction, but they're quite a ways behind where we were at, and like I feel like Russia basically just moved into maintenance mode, and the United States government gave up completely uh, after the second shuttle incident. I mean, 9 years. It was 9 years between the United States launching people into space. 9 years. I say I just did it myself. The United States is 9 years between a rocket with people on it launching from the United States. We'd been using uh, the Russian space program to launch astronauts to the space station, and and you're never gonna get anything done if you're just in maintenance mode. Uh, and so this is a big step, because I mean they've had some big steps. SpaceX has had some major steps in that direction with the Falcon 9s, the Falcon Heavy, the automated cargo system that they've been using to supply the International Space Station. Um, because what did I read? They've had 21 successful automatic um, 21 successful automatic Dragon cargo capsule launches. So they launch the capsule, it automatically on autopilot flies to the space station, the computers dock the capsules, and then they can unload whatever cargo was sent. So that's pretty awesome. And so today, the computers docked the manned capsule, the first Dragon crew capsule. And it's funny to me, they're all Dragon stuff. Like their rockets are Dragon, Draco, the Ultra Draco rockets, and stuff like that. And that's funny to me. But yeah, so now we have a successful launch. Well, I say we, SpaceX has a successful launch, which means that we're another step towards, like they said yesterday, they were discussing getting a commercial flight on the International Space Station is awesome. But the next thing they said that needs to happen is the International Space Station is a conglomeration of governments. So the next thing that needs to happen is a commercial space station built by a company. And I mean, I am not saying that companies are the be all end all thing that we need to be aiming for, but governments just, I don't think, aren't going to do it at this point. Um, like sometimes I see like China does some pretty amazing stuff, and like Japan has done some cool stuff, and France, and there was some talk on from India for a little bit that I thought would culminate in something, but they haven't moved forward like I kind of thought they were going to move. They're also slow, like years and years. Um, like India was talking about putting together solar power space stations and then beaming the energy back down to Earth. Um, and I thought they were really pushing for that for a time, and then they stopped. Or, well, I don't know if they've stopped, but they definitely haven't progressed. Let's put it that way. Uh, and so, I mean, really, it looks like a little bit of scientific exploration, but nothing moving toward. I I guess I guess the conspiracy theorist in me says they probably aren't going to push for getting people into space because people in space wouldn't be under their control, right? I mean, that's what all the science fiction books say. Uh, and so it's not in their best interest to get people on other planets that are too far away to do something about if they rebel, or people in space stations, uh, the colonies. That's what they're called in the Gundam series, space colonies. Uh, I do love me some Gundam, but yeah. So I feel like if they can get it to work, it's gonna have to be companies at this point. Uh, Probably gonna be a bit of touristy stuff to start with. Although I have read some things that say like manufacturing in zero gravity is much easier, and there are some things you can't do in gravity with materials, like actual makeup of materials. Materials manufactured in space have different. I don't want to say properties, but it would be properties. Different properties than things built on Earth because the lack of gravity changes like the alignment of molecules and the lengths and strengths of things, and so um, and it's super easy relatively to get stuff from space to Earth. And so I really believe that once they get going, especially with cool stuff like the automated cargo capsules that they've been doing with the Dragon cargo capsules, um, that we probably get some robotic mining of asteroids and um, things completely built in space. Plus, on top of that, in space, in space, if you position your stations correctly, then you can do a lot of your power just from solar, maybe all your power, and so then your manufactories would generate their own power, and um, and so you greatly reduce, cost of all that stuff as well. Although then you probably, greatly increase the cost related to heat and, well, I guess heat is a power-based thing, but oxygen generation, uh, things like that, which might still have to be. Although I do believe some of the asteroids are made of ice, so although I think they're called, no, comets mean it's orbiting, right? So I think you can have ice asteroids. Anyways, that's a big long-winded thing just to say I thought the SpaceX launch was cool. Uh, and I'm gonna grab some glass here, I think. And so yeah, that was fun to watch for me today. Uh, let's see what else is. Oh no. No, that's right. That's right. The glass is not centered. I was like, oh no, I didn't center my glass, but the glass doesn't get centered. Uh, oh, that was a long ride. Whew. The started playing Minecraft Dungeons this week. That was pretty good. Not amazing, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It I enjoy some of the aspects of it. Let's put it that way. I like the game itself. It's a little more difficult, maybe. I don't like that you can't change your difficulty to lower than the recommended amount. Um, like, what if you're playing with young kids, which I have done? I mean, it's cool and all when I've got a high level character and can take care of everything on my own, but, I'm playing with a young kid, my niece, who's not really into that kind of video gaming. Oh man, I was kind of hoping things would be a little farther along. But I guess you gotta spend time here for. Guess we could go do a little mining while we let the glass cook. Hey. I've got one torch. Can't do any mining with one torch. I might go look for some coal. And so, no, I want to get down to diamond level. I'm not after iron or anything. Where are we at here? I am at 30. That is too high. I'm at 19. We're getting a little closer here. Gotta be right in here, right? Yep, 12. Yep. Alright, so I've done some strip mining that way. So I guess let's go. I guess let's go on this side of the stairs. Although it works if I can find some coal real quick here. Oh, well, I mean, this is nice. It's not coal. Eh, let's see if we can find some coal in these already lit up hallways here. Oh, I didn't do this very far, did I? I only guess I thought I did a little more. I do need this though. Nobody said to knock down the torch, all right? Although it does look like I need to move it. Uh, so there's some weird things with Minecraft Dungeons. I have played both online. I've played all three. All three. I've played three different versions now. Um, I have played single player, which plays just like online, basically. I have played online with other people, and I have played co-op. Uh, Weirdly, co-op and online are slightly different. I think I prefer the co-op way. It works actually. Um, so it's a Minecraft Dungeons. If you haven't seen it or played it, it's an ARPG, an action. It's not an RPG. It's a I don't know what you call it. I guess it's sort of a. It's not an RPG. I don't know what to call it. It's an adventure game like Zelda, only not as deep as Zelda. And you got your guy or gal or whatever you chose, and they've got basically three slots: uh, a melee slot, an armor slot, and a ranged slot. And then they got three artifact slots, and I think that's about it for how you equip your character. There might be one other slot, but I don't think so. Um, and and then what happens is for every level you go up, you get a enchantment point, and your melee, ranged, and armor items will have possible enchantments on them, and it seems fairly random what's on them. I mean, I think there are like ranged enchants, and so you're not necessarily going to get, you're just going to get ranged enchants on a ranged weapon, is what I mean, and you're only going to get melee enchants on a melee weapon. I haven't seen it break in any significant way. Man, I really need some coal. Why is there no coal anywhere? You know what? I bet I could get some charcoal. Should have got some charcoal while I was at the surface. Should put some stairs in here too. It's bouncing up and down, man. And then there's like I mean that's pretty much it. And you just run around and you kill things basically. There's a little storyline to it, sort of. It's not like a cohesive storyline. It's like they're linked. Um, they're linked levels. So like you have to complete Cactus Canyon before you can enter the Desert Tomb, right? And so when you go into Cactus Canyon, they're like, the Illager wizard guy, who's the bad guy, is trying to use necromancy to create army of the undead. You must destroy the necromancer's staff to stop him from doing this. And so you fight your way through, and um, and okay, I'm gonna load this. Nope, nope. Shoot. Oh no, that's right. That's right. Yep. Opposite of shoot. I was like, oh no, I loaded it incorrectly, but I didn't. That's the way it's supposed to load. Alright, there we go. How are we doing, glass? I might go back down and grab some more andesite here. So yeah, so it's fun. Uh, I where is my little spot that I go into? There it is. I can't find it. Why are you in there with my horse? Whoa. And so the real frustration comes when you're playing with other people, of course. And is this the spot I just came in from mining? Because I feel like there should have been. I thought the stairs were wider. Or is that just deeper down here? Okay, it must just be deeper down. And so, um, so the levels are sort of randomly generated. I say sort of because parts of them seem very familiar, but there are differences every time I've gone in. So I don't know if it's completely randomy. It's supposed to be random like the original Diablo. I have been told. I have not confirmed, but I have been told. And so there is that. There's no way this is where I came from, right? Is it? I feel like I must have two entrances, and this is the other one because this does not feel like where I was at earlier. Uh, anyways, and so I was playing it. Okay, okay. So I bought it to play with my nephew. And well, yeah, basically. And I mean, I wanted to play it too, but so I got him to. Oh, I've come down too far. So I got him to get it for my nephew. I would have bought it, but I wanted to see if they'd pay for it instead of me, and so they did. And so we got it, but we only played like one level, and then he's gone and beaten the whole thing without me because that's what he does. I don't even know why I try to do things with him because we'll start something and then he'll just go finish it on his own. They are very no thought about anyone but themselves. So which is super annoying. Like Uh, you can't do anything with any of them. They're all like that. It's either that way or they start something and then they never come back to it. Those are your only two options when trying to hang out with my family. And so I get frustrated with it, but so he goes, he's finished the whole thing, and I'm telling my one friend who is a tad annoying most of the time to me. Um, I just mentioned he asked if I was getting it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got it, and to play with my nephew, and so he asked what it was like, and I'm like, oh, it's like Diablo. And he's like, well, I never played Diablo. I'm like, oh, well, oh yeah, see, this is where I was going weird. In my mind, those stairs were completely different. You know what? I don't know I'm doing that because I came here for the andesites, and I got the andesites. So let's get out of here. And so we're playing, and um, so the difference between playing online and playing co-op is basically this. Uh, when you get loot in the game, like a new sword or a new bow or something, only online, only you can see it. And so the other players everybody basically that's playing has their own loot drops. Nobody else sees them, and which is cool. Uh, and then uh, the consumables though are shared, which is not as cool. Uh, and so I don't understand why. I mean, I guess I can understand partially like um, potions or TNT are shared. Food that drops, which gives you a short-term regeneration, is shared. That's fine, but they share arrows. And so last night's a good example of why I think that's bad. Um, uh, so, anyways, so consumables are shared. Um, Armor, weapons, artifacts, that kind of thing are not. Only you can see them. And then there's also emeralds, which are currency in the game, sort of. It has a blacksmith at the camp that you go to in between missions, and you can pay him for random level appropriate items. And so you never know what you're gonna get, and so you just that's what you spend your emeralds on. Or we picked up a second one who sells artifacts, and so he sells randomly generated, well, random artifacts, and so so in online, if I break a pot that has emeralds in it, then the emeralds pour out, and there are emeralds that only I can see and emeralds that only he can see, and so you have to go to the emeralds to pick them up. And and so so in the online version, you have to pick them up yourself, and only you can see them. Uh, and in the co-op version, now I don't care one way or the other. In the co-op version, everybody can see the dropped items. Okay, so co-op is I say co-op, I mean like we're playing on one computer and we both see our characters on the same screen. All right, so you have to have it this way. I don't care one way or the other about the non-consumable drops, and so in that way, each character has a color. Blue and yellow were our colors, and so when something would drop, it would have a blue or a yellow outline around it, and only that person could pick it up. So it's basically just like online. But what I really liked was if you break a pot full of emeralds, you don't have to pick up the emeralds. The emeralds fly into the air and um, split automatically into two groups and automatically fly to the people. So I don't understand why the online version I have to go and collect my emeralds, and in the co-op version they just fly to you. In the single player it doesn't matter because I'm the one who broke the thing, so I'm standing there. But when you're playing online, you might not be in the same area. Like I don't like to stand there because the things die. Most of the things die super easy, and so there's no reason for everybody to be in the same spot attacking the same thing. And and so you might be in two different sections of the map. I mean, you're heading to the same goal, so you don't want to be too far apart, but there might be branching tunnels or something, right? And so um, he goes left, I go right. He breaks a pot on left. Um, then I have to go all the way over to where he's at to collect my emeralds. But if I was on co-op, he'd go left, I'd go right. He'd break the pot, and the emeralds would just split and automatically come to me. And so I don't know why they didn't set that up that way for online multiplayer. The other thing that is weird is that you can't play co-op and online at the same time. And so we only have two copies here, and so we can't play like co-op on my computer with me and my niece, and then have my nephew join in online. I guess we could bring a third controller and connect it to my computer, and then we could all play on my computer. Maybe I don't know how many people you can play that way, but maybe that's an option. Uh, but yeah, so the annoying thing in working with other people is that uh, like so we're doing this mission last night, and it really really annoys me that we're going off and we're killing the things, and I'll get like a group of people, and I've got like these abilities that hit and damage groups of people, and then instead of going and attacking a different group of people, uh, and so I'll have a group on me, and he'll just run up, and while I'm engaged with the group and hitting them with like my lightning storm or my poison cloud, he's got this explode ability, and so run right into the middle of my group and explode and kill everything that I'm fighting. And which would be fine if it was helpful, but it's not helpful because it only takes a few hits to kill stuff. And so it's really annoying to me that instead of clearing more of the room, he's always huddled right where I'm at. I'm just like, oh, just move. Just go do your own thing. Like, we get to a boss, we'll fight together, but you don't need to be right next to me while I'm fighting this stuff all the time. Or like, you'll see a treasure and you'll run over and to open it. Um, Only one person's got to open it, and then he'll say, "Oh, you opening that treasure?" And they'll run over to where I'm standing to open the treasure. And like, if you want to open the treasure, why don't you just go open the treasure? I don't care who opens the treasure, but you're wasting my time by waiting until I get to the treasure to decide you want to run over and open the treasure. So, I'll just go back to fighting the bad guys and you can open the treasure. And then when you get to the next one, you just keep fighting the bad guys, and then he just wanders off down the hallway, ignoring the fact the treasure's there, doesn't open it, and so then you gotta open it because he didn't do it this time. And so that stuff really, really annoys me. And then he'll go off on his own finally, and then I'll be like clearing a room of bad guys, and then he'll be like, I need you to come here real quick. I need you to come here. I'm in trouble. I need you to help me. I need you to come here real quick. I'm like, I can't. I am halfway across the map. Why don't you just back off and heal? I don't. And so I picked up this weird weapon. It's a auto crossbow, and it fires very rapidly. And so we ran into these guys that were super tough to fight, and so the bow was doing a pretty good job of getting rid of them. And But it uses a lot of arrows, and arrows are shared. And so he's running around not using arrows, but he's collecting all the arrow drops. And so then he's like, I can't fight this guy. And he's just running face first repeatedly into the boss instead of waiting. They're on like little, it's like old school, like there's a pattern and you gotta wait for the thing to move to the other pattern before you can attack him. And he just runs face first into the guy and gets killed, and so I gotta go over and revive him, and then he immediately runs face first back into the guy. And he's like, why don't you shoot that guy with arrows? I'm like, I don't have any arrows. You collected them all and didn't let me get any. Uh, like, I came in here with like 137 arrows. I have 97 left. I barely used any arrows, and you didn't let me collect any. There's supply boxes um, that you run into occasionally where each person who clicks on it, it spits out consumables. It spits out a bread and a bundle of arrows, and he was collecting my arrows from the supply drops as well. So I think he was just jealous of the bow from the previous thing, and so I had like 617 arrows at one point, and just because I kept getting arrow drops along the way. So I don't know how many arrows he had. He's like, why you got so many arrows? I'm like, because I don't ever use my bow. Um, and then when I needed to use my bow, he hadn't let me get any arrows that mission. So I find that annoying. But no, it's an alright game. Um, and then I know it's a long video, but real quick, I did say that I probably wouldn't be playing this anymore, and now I'm not so sure. Um, uh, I I know that we're starting Hidden Secrets 2, and it starts tomorrow. I thought it started today. Initially, we play. I don't want to go out here. Initially, we play on Monday, Thursday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whichever way you want to go with it, um, as a group. And we were told by the guy who runs the group that we were going to skip today's modded Minecraft session because we were starting our beta Minecraft multiplayer server. And there's several. You know what? Let's go to the place where there's glass. I don't know why I was gonna go back home. let me look confirmed number of people going to be on the server. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got eight people listed right now. Going to be on our Minecraft multiplayer server, and I think he's got 3 more he's talking to see if they want to join us. So it should be cool. It's how I started with the group. They invited me to play on their multiplayer server, and then I don't know. We stopped playing multiplayer server, and now it looks like we're gonna get another one going again. At least a year. He signed a year contract with the server company, so um, I know it'll run at least until next June-ish. But anyways, so now he said that we're not starting until tomorrow. So he changed the date, and so that's where we're at. I decided I'd go ahead and make a Minecraft video today. We'll see. Maybe I can keep my schedule together and keep this going. I would like to keep working on my world. I like seeing the new snapshots as they unveil. But along with that, I am also going to want to pick a day where I do hidden secrets, and yeah, so we'll see. Alright, this has gone on way too long, so click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.